Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing is February the 5th, 2025. Daily altcoin and gold and silver bullion update. J from the great state of Michigan, just outside of downtown Detroit, right? And remember the bell notification, comment down below, like and share. Become yes members of Jabroni Killers for an industry cheap $3.99 a month, and you'll get first dibs and my utmost attention on your comments, questions, and concerns that I will respond to you via the chat below, or I will always show your questions unless you don't want to on the channel and discuss through the videos on some of the concerns and questions or comments you have to keep you out ahead of the field and out ahead of the market manipulation to be well informed on all aspects of the market. And then also in the video description and pinned comment where the Jabroni Killers link is, you can use my Robinhood or Coinbase link there below or super chat to support the channel. And if we get right on into this, we'll start with the gold update because we did miss this yesterday because I fell asleep awfully early last night. If we look at gold bullion on a quick synopsis, gold bullion is almost to our major cup and handle target that was in, it was over a decade long cup and handle. And you can see where the cup and handle is real quickly. We'll go over this. You got your cup forming, get rid of that. Oops. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. You got your cup forming, and then you see the rounding bottom for the cup, then your neckline, your COVID peak, and your 2011 peak from the financial crisis. And then you can see the handle in this down and sideways consolidation. And then we finally broke out of that. And that is one of the most bullish formations you can get, especially when it's in over a decade long in the daily, in the weekly, and in the monthly. And then the way you do your targeted move, you would go from the bottom of the cup, oops, from the bottom of the cup right there. See this? Bottom of the cup to the neckline to the point of a breakout. And that's how you get all the way up there at 3,500 and $38. And there isn't even a much bigger target, but this was our first target. And we made this uh, technical move target when we were sitting down here in 2020, seeing this cup that was forming. So we're up better than at current price, 73%. And that was a 116% call that we made. And it took a couple of years. People were doubting it, but it's getting there and it's going to achieve that target here in the short term. Silver bullion is threatening still to break out to get up near that $50 mark that it hit in 2011 and it hit back there in 1980. And I do believe we will get there at some point, and then I believe we're even going much higher. Maybe not $700, but I believe we will hit $100 somewhere in the near future. And that's playing into my thesis, B2 Gold. I'm a heavy investor with nearly 3,000 shares. I have 1,600 on one site, 800 on another. And let's do some simple math here. 1,600 plus 800 plus 550. I have 29, about 3,000 shares of B2 Gold, and I have an average price at about $2.85 if you take all three of those on the prices that I've accumulated in. And I do believe at some point we're getting way up here in B2 Gold, if not much higher. I believe we will be at $9.38. We will take out the 2020 high, which was its all-time high. And I believe we're going to be at $10 and potentially one day $20 up there. But right now we're in this falling channel. So we're playing between this support and resistance. And we've been in this falling channel ever since the 2020 COVID high at 736. You can see we've hit resistance and support a bunch of times, and it's a channel, so they're bearish continue, it's a falling channel, so they're bearish continuation patterns but bullish breakouts once they finally exhaust themselves. So when will it exhaust itself finally? Not exactly sure. All I do know is at some point this will break out to the upside. Another one that we have some shares in, 400 of them, and we're up 130%. And this thing has been on a tear. I'm up 130%. And you can see this thing was on a very big bear market from 2008 all the way to 2015 before it started to break out to the upside. And I think our next move in here, which we're going to eventually get, is near this all-time high at 27.36 in Kinross Gold. They do pay a little dividend, and I do believe we're going to eventually make it up there. And my own personal position on here, I'm not a financial advisor, but I am up greater than 130% on 400 shares. Barrett Gold, I've been up as high as 25, 30%. Now I'm only up about 3%. I do have about 200 shares of Barrick Gold, and I do believe Barrick Gold in the short term and the medium term will eventually get back up here to that $25. And then I think at some point it's going to go much, much higher than $25. And because it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest gold producers in the country. And they have a very stable and solid business. So I do think we're going to eventually take out these 2011 highs of about $55. First Majestic Silver, I got 600 or 700 shares of this. And this has been getting rejected the last several months since coming off the COVID high up here at the top part of this VP volume indicator right there, the VIX volume profile at about $8.55. But I do believe once we break out of that, we're going to take out that 2011 or 2020 high of $23.26. Fortuna Silver is another one that I got about 500 shares in. We're up about 6. I do believe it'll take out, sorry, my phone rang from somebody at work. We'll take out that high, and I'm very bullish on that. Pan America Silver is another one I'm very bullish on. I got about 150 shares of this at about an average price of $20. So we're not doing too bad on this. And I do believe at some point that will take out the COVID highs. And I think that might be $100 stock into the future. And then if we look at the altcoins, because that's what you all are here for. If we start with some DGB, we're going to roll through these because this is going to be kind of a quicker video today because I'm going to watch the basketball game. You can see, let's scroll this out into the daily time frame. You can see these moving averages have been trending way down with DGB. We're down to about 1 penny on the 100-day or the 50-day in the daily. It's a little bit lower than that, just above a penny. Then we're at a little bit below that is the 100-day moving average. And then we have the 200-day down there at almost a penny exactly. And we're about to have a bearish cross where the short-term moving average crosses the medium-term moving average, which doesn't take me to tell you, you all are smart people. That is an indication that we've been bearish and the bearishness could continue. And that we have a head and shoulders topping reversal pattern that looks to be playing out here, where you can see your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder, and the neckline's right about there with support on the neckline, support on the neckline, support, support, and support on the neckline. You bring that to the point of a breakout, and that's how you get near this underneath target that we have down here by about 0.00601 or slightly less at 0.00521, where a wick almost came down there. But I have a feeling that this in the short to medium term is where DGB is going. If we look at the old quant's a simple one. We've broken down the moving averages, and again, like this, all of the major moving averages in the daily time frame are starting to trend down. We're at 102 for the 100-day. We're at about 107 for the 50, and the 200-day still running parallel. And we're at about $95. We're threatening to break out of this major support level right here at the bottom part of this red trading zone. The 50-day is threatening to cross the 100-day also in here, and that would be a bearish sign to confirm the bearishness. And on the breakdown, $69.34 is where you would come down to sort of where the wick was. And then we would look for some support. IOTA is the same thing. We're threatening to break down below this bottom part of this red trading zone. And again, we have the moving averages severely trending to the downside. You see that we're down to 30 cents in the 50. We're down to 28 cents in the 100. And we're now even trending down in the 200 at 24 cents. And we're threatening a bearish cross from the 50 in red to cross and get beneath the short-term moving or the medium-term moving average of the 100-day. And I believe that if you break this 16 cents, your next area of major support would be down here at a double bottom, right? Uh, a regional low double bottom down there at about just below a penny. So that's what we're looking like in IOTA. VELO. We've been in this rising wedge that we know about. We don't have to go all into detail of what the rising wedge is, but you can see severely falling 50-day moving average at about 2.25 cents, a severely falling 100-day moving average at 2 cents, and a falling slightly in the 200-day. And I believe our next target is coming down here to the bottom part of this wedge. And then you would have to hold that, or you could threaten to break down to the technical target on a wedge breakdown, which would be the bottom of the wedge down there at 0.0024. So that's what we're looking for in the short term in VELO. DIA is the same thing. We got this head and shoulders topping reversal pattern, which did fulfill the technical move. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline right there. Point of a breakout. Got you right down there on a wick down to the bottom part of that red trading zone at 38 cents. But I feel like we're going to come at least retest that. And again, if we break down through there, your next best support level is the regional low down there at about 25.5 cents that was set during our most recent bottom. And then if you even pull that out more, you can see how you had a bunch of resistance there back here. Nope, still don't want to buy you. So that would be a logical spot. See all the resistance, that would be your major local support level if you breach this 38 cents. LCX is the same thing. We've continued to break down. The moving averages have continued to be severely bearish now in the more shorter term. You can see we're sitting at 23 cents for the 50, 22 cents on the 100, and we are sitting at 20.5 cents on the 200-day, and your 14 cents is your major underneath support. VTHO is coming down, I believe, to this 100-day moving average, and ultimately, at the very least, it's coming down to the 200-day, and we'll continue to watch that. Monero is also the one that showed relative strength among them, but I think there's a big fall coming in Monero in the short term, and I think it's telling you and telegraphing that you have to come down to the $181 level unless something in the market changes, to overall market structure changes across the board. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love to my grateful, lovely, glowing, growing, beautiful audience. J.